Firis. This is the latest entry in the Atelier series, and the second in the trilogy that's the whole mysterious thing. We're looking right now at the frame rate, which, I mean, isn't super the best. We're right at the beginning of the game. Firis has just gotten permission to go ahead and try and become an atelier, or alchemist, sorry, and have her own atelier. If she fails, she has to move back to her hometown, and she's not too thrilled about that possible prospect. I've switched to the Japanese voice acting because you don't want to hear any of the Atelier games in English. Now, what's different about this one is when she has her recipes and things like that, you end up learning things as you kind of go along and gather things. So, over here in the recipe book, there'll be question marks for things you can do. Like here, oh, you can extract ore from rocks, but it's something if I could do with like a bomb. And you eventually get different things as you kind of come across other items. So here, if you gather plants, you get one item. If you get zwei nuts and uni, you can make certain kinds of cookies. And the further you get in the game, the more recipes you'll have access to as you play. But again, we're starting an earlier save at the very beginning to kind of avoid spoilers and such, offer more of an introduction, so... Finding ore is a talent of Firis's that's just like kind of in-story lore. That's part of the reason why in her hometown they're so hesitant for her to leave. Doesn't really translate as well as you'd hope and expect to the main game, but kind of makes her seem a little bit like a little gnome, which is cute. This is an open world Atelier game, which means that you'll have a whole bunch of quests kind of as you go along. You'll stumble across things. You can kind of determine your own path a bit, which is a nice feature. Just trying to avoid those guys because right now I don't think I'm strong enough to really take them on. Up. Well, we ended up in a match with one anyway. We'll go ahead and use this as an opportunity to show how the different skills the characters have work. Because Leanne has 1,000 shots, she can hit a nice range of enemies. Quests just kind of come up like that, just intermittently, and you'll come across them and find ways to solve them as you go. It's very freeform, which is kind of nice. We're going to go ahead and finish off this turtle. That should be enough to satisfy that one woman. Okay, so since we beat that, we're going to go over and talk to her now that she knows the oasis is a safer place for her. Since this is a campfire, whenever you come across a campfire in the world, that's where Firis can set up her magic tent and just kind of take a moment. We're not going to check. Well, let's take a look just so you can have an idea of how things look. You can image the item, their quality, you get to see what kind of space they would take up on the alchemy grid. And over here, what's kind of nice is, depending on the item, it might take up more or less things, even though it's the same exact item. So we don't have enough items to create any new recipes, I don't... Well, no, actually we do have enough to go ahead and do something new. Let's go ahead and synthesize without a catalyst for now. Now what you want to do is you want to try and cover those lines that are on the grid as best as you possibly can. We aren't going to have enough to actually cover the full grid, but, you know, we'll just do our best right now in this save. Go ahead and synthesize that. As part of Firis' journey, she's trying to come across other alchemists and kind of prove her worth and get letters of recommendation so she can take licensing exams. So you really have to do your best to try and learn new recipes, gather as much as possible, and so on. Because that she has learned a recipe since she got the item. That's how a lot of things will come up, where she'll come with a new recipe. Just something will happen and then she'll be able to work things out on her own because of it. Let's see, we don't have any metal, we can't do this. We could go ahead and do some cloth. So here, it's always best to get an idea of what you have access to first, before you go starting to attempt any kind of synthesis. With the items we have now, it's a much better idea to try and get things in the grid down there. And then we completely cover up that line. And that was a definite win for Firis. The alchemy level's still a little bit too low to handle that. Or that. So what we're going to do is here we have the quests, we can check and see what we have going on. We can't fix that just yet. What we're going to do is we're going to raise up her alchemy level a little bit more with a few more fusions. And because she has made the bomb so many times now, the bomb has a chance of being a better quality. Alchemy level is still a little bit too low to start doing the things we need to for that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to head out into the world and do a little bit more gathering. The ponies are pretty great in this game. And just so you can take a look at the main menu, we can have what the battle equipment are for the different characters. We can change that and alter that. Eventually they can have 2 different weapons to choose from, which is rather nice. And item equipment, you could, when you're in the actual Atelier, you can choose what kind of items you want to have equipped and with you to help handle situations. It's another turtle. Not a very strong turtle, but you know, a turtle nonetheless. None of the things in this early area are really going to do much damage to anybody. I mean, there are, of course, exceptions. Sometimes you'll see something extraordinarily huge, and you'll just know you do not want to tangle with that, but... So over here, you see there's a rock that can be cracked. You can use her staff to break into one of these things. And she's starting to get exhausted. The life points over there are kind of draining down because she was beating away at the rock to get items from it. When that happens, you just, have to send her to take a little nap for a while. No big deal. Sometimes the enemies just won't even attack you. The AI is just kind of a little buggy. AI, frame rate, things. This version is better than the PlayStation Vita version, so there is that to look forward to. Hey, she came up with a new recipe because she collected some things. Gonna gather a little bit more. It's nice on the upper mini map. You can see I left some of the stuff untouched in this area, so you can tell when there's people. You can tell where there's enemies, people you want to talk to, because it could mean just a little impromptu side quest. Sometimes it is a little bit disorienting when suddenly, like, the time of day shifts out of nowhere. It's just a little awkward. But I respect what they were trying to do here. What I find weird is Firis' eyes. They just don't look natural for some reason. I mean, of course, they're anime-inspired characters. They're gonna look a little weird. But Leanne looks like this normal, ordinary person with, like, actual pupils who just seems like just a person. And Firis has, like, these weird, kind of, like, fake eyes that don't seem to have an actual pupil, and it's just a little bit odd. Like, I don't know. There are elements of her character design I like. There are others I really kind of don't care for. So, okay, we end up getting the recipe for an uni bag because she had collected enough stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to do some different fusions and stuff until she would need to take a little rest. Now, we do have a no, I'll use a catalyst just so you can get an idea. What happens is when you have a catalyst, it changes the look of the grid, so you have different objectives to try and meet. So over here, the grid is a little bit smaller, there's a little bit fewer things, and traits could transfer. With the items we have, I don't know if we'd be able to... Yeah, no, we wouldn't be able to fully complete a grid, so we're just not gonna use up a good item, even though it really isn't difficult to come across them. Especially, but we know we can fill up this one grid here. Might as well go ahead and just do it. Let's see. We have one of those fused, and we have a bunch of bombs. What we're going to do is we're just going to fuse a few neutralizers and tanning fluids, just, you know, get some some points to kind of get her levels up a bit. With this one, we actually are going to use a Princess Crass catalyst because I don't think we'll have any problem whatsoever trying to get anything done, so... Yeah, we're going to fill this up with no problem at all. Oh, nope, problem. We're not going to be able to fill the things. Yeah. So yeah, we can't use too many items. It's a little bit too easy to fill. Oh, shoot, accidentally. There we go. We'll fuse another couple uni bags. No, we'll use a Princess Grass with this one just to give you an idea of how the things will look and work. There we go, that should go a little bit better. There, that'll work. Okay, so everything's been filled. It's gonna be great. We're able to take over and inflict poison because of the way the catalyst we had. So she leveled up, so we'll see now if we can repair that key. Nope, we still can't make that, so we can't make the key because we can't make the ingot. But because we ended up doing so much, we did get some new recipe hints. Let's go ahead and see what we have now. So this is entirely new. So when we synthesize 19 times, we'll have a new different type of neutralizer that we could use. We need to get more plants before we can get that. Neutralizer G. The white key abyss. We're gonna... Oh, no, I forgot. I needed to have her rest for a while. Her life points are getting a little low and you don't... Well, actually, no, they're 100 out of 100. Okay, we're fine, yeah. So everything's okay. Everything's great. Go ahead and fight a Puni, since we haven't done that yet. Or at least we haven't fought this particular kind of Puni. If you want, you can have Leanne or one of the other characters step in and protect Firis from an attack. Firis is pretty weak, and Leanne, of course, starts at level 10, so it's a pretty good idea to do. We're gonna go ahead and fight that mushroom. There are plenty of places where you can set up the tent, which is really nice. You're never gonna find yourself really where am I supposed to backtrack to go to save and to kind of help the characters along, which is handy. It means you never really are going to have this risk of running out of life points, which is nice. That rock looks like it has a crack in it. You think we can go ahead and we can break into that and get a few items. It always is worth it to do this, even though it does take away from life points. For the number of items you get at once, and the quality of items, and the type, definitely. Sometimes Firis gets stuck in parts of her environment. You'd think she'd be able to just kind of like walk past her or walk over it. Nope, that isn't going to happen. Oh, she came up with a recipe idea. Good for you, Firis. Enemies are a little bit stronger at night, which adds a little bit of diversity. But again, in this area here, this very initial area, you have nothing to worry about. There are just some unis over here, and it's always nice to have some puni balls on hand for different recipes. So we're just going to go ahead and attack them, get them out of the way. The combat isn't that much different from the previous games. I mean, eventually your characters can have additional weapons equipped and everything, which is nice, but it still isn't the highlight of the game. You're not playing this because you want to take part in battles, really. It really is because of the fusions. Though, as you go further along, you can kind of choose to focus more on one sort of activity than another. Here, there's a cave we could take a look into. We're just going to take a quick peek. We don't have the right sort of equipment to, you know, light it up. Since Firis is running a little bit low on health, I'm not going to send her too far into here. Just enough to kind of give a taste of what you can expect and see. She doesn't have the proper equipment to really go busting up and around right now. So since we ended up getting that weapon, we'll go ahead and we'll equip that. Now, she's not going to be able to equip it because, you know, she can only have one staff at a time. But Leanne is pretty good, and she can end up having an extra item equipped. She's meant to be a whole warrior after all. In some areas it is a little bit brighter, and just the frame rate. Okay. Things are fine. Sure, okay. So since we ended up taking that little trip, we'll go ahead and we'll head to the convenient campfire located right here. And open up shop again. Right, and like I said, there are plenty of campfires around. You're never going to have to really worry too much about that. So we end up getting a recipe for paper, which is handy because there are things that we need that would require actual paper. We're going to use the lowest quality items possible, because why use something good for something like this? Yeah, that's fine. We're not going to bother with a catalyst right now. We're fine without it. Yeah, what'd your friend think? Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. And then we'll put this over here. And we'll have that over there. That there. We're not going to fill up every grid, but we're going to do our best. Sophie was a very good game. I liked that a lot. And I liked Sophie better than Firis. Now that we can make no dock again, we're going to go ahead and do that. Eventually you get like these weird shaped things where it's kind of like, where am I going to put you to try and complete this? It becomes a thing. It does. It absolutely does. Toturi is probably one of my favorites in this series. I think if you have that, you have a pretty good idea of the idea of what everything's going to be about. Maruru is pretty good too. I don't like the constant use of the recorder for the theme song. It just gets to be a little much, you know. You can only take so much recorder music. It is a lot more interesting, yeah. There's a little bit more depth to it this time around. So you really have to think about what you're doing and where you're placing it. And the different catalysts will change the positioning of the lines on the board for bonuses. Right now, I'm killing time until I can do what is supposed to be like the one main objective quest, like for fixing the key and everything, before we move on to the next town. Or, well, the first town, to be honest. Even though she does start in her hometown, the real exciting stuff happens once she heads out into the world on her own. There is an English dub. The English voices aren't good. The English voices are not good at all. I mean, there are people who want to use them, and that's fine for those people who want to use them. They're very grating. Toturi does have better voice acting than Maruru does. Oh good, okay, we can finally go ahead and make some ingots. That should be, no, we're not able to make the pickaxe yet, but know what, the ingot is important. It's the first step to doing something actually good. So we're gonna go ahead and make a whole ton of those. Right, this one has brought the time limit back. What happens is you have just about a year for Firis to get her alchemy license, and then what ends up happening after that is you have free roaming experience where you can just do whatever you want, whenever you want, just kind of travel and enjoy the world. But you know, in the meantime, obligations. It isn't too difficult to meet your goals in here. I mean, you know what? We're gonna put that one there. This one brought in the chain reaction quests, where you'll have a bunch of quests just kind of in a row to help fulfill and undertake, and you have to kind of follow a chain before you get where you're going to go. So we can make an explorer lantern now. We're going to do that in a second. We still can't do the pickaxe because we don't have any wood, but we'll get there eventually. It's an item that comes in pretty handy as you make certain items too. This one I didn't want to have too many spoilers for anyone. This is right after the tutorial section where Firis gets permission to become an alchemist from her parents and leave her home and everything. So this is really early in the game. She hasn't actually visited her first town outside of her hometown just yet. Oh, she ended up coming up with a recipe. Okay, so since the recipe limits or ideas have come up, you can see when you have a new idea, you have here. Okay, so that hint here says, gotta get used to making uni bags. That means you have to make some more uni. Oh yeah, I have a ton of materials. You have to make more uni bags. Over here, this is an accessory you can make, but you need to collect a certain number of crystals and cotton. Again, if you make out cotton, if you have to use wild cotton with it, you get it. It explains everything. It's very handy and nice, so you kind of have an idea of what you need and how to do things. We're gonna make a few uni bags right now. I'm pretty sure we have more than enough, yeah, to do a couple. I doubt it'll be enough to trigger the next size up, but you never know. There, put that there. Have that go here. Yeah, now we. Oh, no, I had. It turns out there was something else. There's been some other stuff we didn't get a chance to fuse yet. Get this out of the way just so I can say we made it. Make a general catalyst while we're here too. There, and use a green one. Definitely not gonna fill up that grid, but go ahead and put them all in that corner anyway. Since we're so close to leveling up, do I have any wild cotton where I... Yeah, I do, but I don't have enough to actually make... what the hell, just go ahead and... You can never have too much cloth in the game, so... Especially when it levels her up again. Now we have enough where we could fix this key for the guy. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that for him. Doesn't need to be pretty, so we'll use the lower quality equipment. Oof. That's not going to get filled. Now he's going to come back and pick up his key. Or he should at least. Yep, here we go. No, he's not. Sturk is pretty good. He was pretty great. We already do have a sword because of the item we found in the cave. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can make it anyway because... Oh, we don't have any wood, like... Of course not, we can't do that. Nope, can't make that just yet. We don't have the key to make that. So before we head back out again, we're gonna equip her with some extra items. Do we have a healing salve? We do. We're gonna put a pooty bag in there. Put an extra bomb in there. That. If you don't have stuff equipped right now in there, you can't use it, so... there we go, explore. So when you have an item equipped in the explore section, you can use them in the field sometimes automatically, which is really handy. So yeah, came up with a new recipe, we already checked everything over there. Well, let's grab some stuff as we go along. We need to get some more uni bags. We're out there. Because this is nighttime, there are a whole ton of monsters over here. Don't worry, we'll go over to that glowing tree in a minute. So we don't have anything that can fix the roots right there, but eventually we could come back and we could save the tree there, which would again change the look of the environment. That's a big part of Atelier Firis. Yeah, I know it's Atelier, but it's just like, in the game they refer to it as Atelier. Oh yeah, it's very fast. It's a little awkward even. I know this pronunciations and stuff in this, you know, it's just... So over here, you can take a look at the quest books we have right now. We need to give recommendations. Flowers blooming, no fear. So like, over here you get rid of the things. Help the plants get better. Check on it in 3 days. So we got rid of those. Over here, take frequent rest. Take frequent rest. God, I'm having a day. Okay. So no fear. Go near them. So you gotta... We could go over there, but you know... Alright, so we can end up going on to Reisenberg. We defeated all the things that are right over here in the immediate area. Knock those down. Take that. We haven't been through this little winding path here, so we'll go ahead and see what we can find. I almost forgot to show. No, when we get to Leanne's attack again, because she has a different item, she should be able to. Yeah, with the sub weapon equipped, she has a different type of slash. Yeah, time goes really quickly. Remind me to show you the frame rate in a second after the battle. So yeah, the frame rate's a little bit of something too. Okay, that's enough of that. We don't want to make anybody sick or uncomfortable with that kind of behavior. Alice outfit would. Right now we're just at the very beginning of the game to kind of show it off without showing too many spoilers or anything. God, clouds don't look like that, game. That's not how clouds look. Now one of the quests is just to try and attempt to fight that thing. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to heal up Leanne just to be safe in this little battle here. Now we'll go ahead and give that a shot just to, you know, get the objective gone. Of course, it is impossible to try and do that, so we're just gonna run for now. I think that should get rid of... Well, that's the ponies are the mascot. I think that should get rid of that. Okay, no, I just... Keep going this way. Hey, there's somebody we can talk to. Let's see what he wants. That's okay. Alright, so we got some bombs for doing a good deed. The mining bombs. Ugh. This camera. Here, there's a campfire. Okay. Yeah. You can see little people in your home. It's actually pretty expansive, all things considered. Now we're out of these, so we're gonna put together some of these just to... Yeah, we don't want to use that. A portable hut would be pretty nice. It'd be great for camping or even just to avoid the regular costs of living. Let's see, we don't have anything else really to make just yet. Well, I did need to make more uni bags, so might as well do some of that. Since we have enough things, let's see how the general catalyst would look. No, let's put this one in first. There, that's pretty good. Just so we have one of these on hand in case somebody would need it for a quest. Ugh. I hate when that happens. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Gonna fill up this line instead. Know what? No, we're gonna put that over here. Put that over here. There. Good enough. Okay, so in options we can see this one updated. Okay, so we need to go check on that little forest again.